What is going on, guys? Chip here. Welcome back to another Pokemon TCG video, where today I'm bringing you top 8 of the recent High Point, North Carolina League Cup. This is top 8, like I said, yours truly over on the left, playing that Buzzwole Lycanroc deck you guys saw me playing in the third round, and then Steven Hunter over on the right, who we saw in the first round, playing, of course, that Vikavolt Tapu Bulu deck. Now, this is actually a really cool match for me to be able to record, because if I win this match right here, I get my Worlds invite. That's right, top 4 or better at this League Cup meant that I got my 400 points, that I got my invite to Worlds. So, you know, there's a lot riding on this game for me. If I can just finish off that invite, that would definitely feel great. So hopefully I can, hopefully I am able to do that, I should say. But Steven over on the right side is a very good player in our area. You know, he's getting relatively close to his invite as well. I believe he's over 350 points at this point, so he's very close. Should be wrapping that up here at the end of the next quarter for sure, if not by the end of this quarter, honestly. But he's going to get things going. A really, really solid start over on his turn. He's able to get an Ultra Ball, find himself a Bulu, get a Grass Energy on that Bulu, and he's going to get to Lily and draw a bunch of cards here on his very first turn. The only other thing he's going to want here is to find a another Grubbin, because, you know, I did start the Mew over on my side, so it is technically possible, however unlikely, it is possible that I pulled off some crazy like double Max Elixir attached to Buzzwole play where I you know, was able to knock out his only Grubbin in play. But we'll see if he's able to find one more Grubbin, and that is definitely a pretty unlikely play for me. But, you know, if you do find 2 Max Elixirs in one turn, which Buzzwole decks can do, you know, I could potentially do that and put Steven back really far. So it looks like he has an Ultra Ball in his hand, and I think that's what he's doing here, is he's eyeing up, okay, how do I get another Grubbin down, and then also keep enough cards in my hand for the next turn to be able to pull off the turn 2 Vikavolt in play. So just kind of debating here what he wants to get rid of. Looks like he's eyeing up a Sycamore and a Field Blower. That seems fine to me. Field Blower, you know, he can manage my tools in play at some point, but it's not super vital like it would be in a Garbodor matchup where he knows I'm not playing Garbodor here at this point in the tournament. So, yeah, Steven definitely knows what deck I'm playing. I knew what deck he was playing, so he does get down that second Grubbin, and looks like it's just going to be a pass over to my turn. And kind of an awkward-looking hand. I see several energy there in that opening hand, and a Sycamore and an Octillery, so I may be ditching a bunch of energies here, and also getting rid of that Octillery is unfortunate. I do not play Super Rod in this list, if I remember correctly. It's been a couple weeks at this point, so I honestly can't totally remember, but I don't think I played Super Rod. So once that Octillery goes down, if my other one's not in the deck, it will be difficult for me to, you know, it'll be impossible for me to get an Octillery in play until I get it out of my prize cards. So I think I do see that second Octillery in the deck, though, so I should be good there if I can get a Remoraid in play, and if it doesn't go down to a Horn Attack from a Bulu over on Steven's side. So it looks like I just grabbed a Buzzwole there with that Ultra Ball. Looked through for a moment, taking a look at what my prize cards were, and then, yeah, we'll see what I do with the rest of my turn. We've got energies. Looks like I'm going to attach to the Buzzwole. I don't know, maybe I should have attached to the Mew there. Unless I'm, like, digging, like, if I really thought I was going to get that double Max Elixir play, but I don't think that that would be a very good play, since he did get a second Grubbin, and I don't know. I guess threatening the Sudowoodo on the bench is definitely nice. I can return a KO with a Nature's Judgment or something like that if that's something Steven tries to pull off. And I get down a Rockruff and a Remoraid. Now this is really good for me, honestly, because it leaves me with options on the next turn, right? Steven can he can Horn Attack KO one of those two if he gets a Guzma this turn, but he can't KO both of them, so if he gets rid of my Rockruff, that means I'm going to have access to Octillery. I'm going to be able to draw cards. But if he gets rid of my Octillery, that means I can potentially pull off a big, dangerous Rogue. And there's a Max Elixir from me, and it looks like I did, unfortunately, whiff. I had gotten rid of a few energies already on that first turn, unfortunately, and I think I do have another one here in my opening hand. So definitely not my ideal first turn. At this point, I don't know, maybe it's okay to Jet Punch, because I don't think that it's likely that Steven is going to, like, he'd have to have a one-of Floatstone, something like that. But it looks like I did just choose to pass. Didn't want to leave my Bulu to be vulnerable. And it looks like he's going to go ahead and just get things off with a Guzma here. Going to take out my Rockruff most likely. And yeah, didn't find the Vikavolt, but he did find the prize on the Rockruff and got that out of play, which is, you know, something that is definitely really solid in this matchup, being able to take 2 prizes with Dangerous Rogue GX. Over here on my turn, I'm going to use Brooklet Hill, probably just getting down another Rockruff. If he had back-to-back Guzmas, that would be unfortunate, but he does need either an energy to retreat the Lele or another Bulu and an energy in order to get the Guzma KO on the Rockruff, since he does have to switch. But yeah, honestly, I don't know. Kind of looking back at that turn, I think it's better that I didn't attach to the Mew and just attach to the Buzzwole, so I can get that ready to try to go on this turn, maybe get a knockout here on this Bulu. If I can find something like a energy, choice band, and a max elixir, and, you know, hit all of that, that would be really good. And I do find 1 energy, I find the choice band, and I find a Cynthia as well. I almost would have been okay just Cynthia putting the energy back in the deck, since that would increase my max elixir odds, and I hadn't played a strong energy yet, so I think that would have been fine, actually. But I think I can dig a little deeper here with an Ultra Ball, maybe find an Octillery, and try to draw a couple more cards, potentially. And I think that is the route I'm going to take here. If I find a max elixir, and I'm able to get a knockout here on this Bulu, that I think I'd be in a pretty solid position here. But kind of like all in on this play, honestly. I don't remember, you know, playing this way, but oh, I found the max elixir, but I also found 2 basic fighting energies, so I do hit on the very last card there. I really don't remember this game. It's been a couple weeks, like I said, so that is pretty crazy. That was not a super high odds of an elixir to hit that one, honestly. And looking back at this game, I think I kind of like, I don't know that I've played this game the best so far, but, you know, I hit that elixir, I'm going to be able to get that Absorption GX knockout, and if, that means the threat of Dangerous Rogue is gone for me, but if Steven doesn't deal with this Buzzwole GX in the active spot, I can potentially just get off a Knuckle Impact on the next turn and get another knockout back-to-back, so we'll see what happens here and, you know, how this game progresses. He's going to go ahead and attach a Lightning Energy to the active Tapu Lele. He could, you know, if he finds Vikavolt this turn, he could get off an Energy Drive for a decent chunk of damage. It looks like he's going to go ahead and play a Skyla, and normally when you see a Bulu player getting a Skyla, that means they are going to be getting the Vikavolt. It's pretty likely that they have one of the other pieces in their hand. So yeah, it looks like he's just going to go ahead, finds Rare Candy, finds Heavy Ball for Vikavolt, and he's going to play Rare Candy, get Vikavolt in play, and, you know, he's going to have a pretty good turn here getting that Vikavolt going. Let's see if he can find a Bulu as well. There is actually going to go ahead and Lele Wonder Tag. He has already played 1 supporter, so he won't be able to play another one here. Looks like he's eyeing up an N. He might want to just play that on the next turn. He knows I'm threatening another knockout this turn because I didn't... I'm threatening another knockout here because I used Absorption GX. I'll be able to Knuckle Impact on the next turn on his active Lele. And looks like he's going to go ahead and just Strong Charge here. We'll see where these energies go and what Pokemon this goes on. And that's one of the things I think that makes this matchup, you know, reasonable for Buzzwole, is if you can, you know, get a big knockout early whenever they only have 1 Tapu Bulu in play, it can be hard to respond to it right away. You know, he would have to have had a way to retreat and find another Bulu that turn. So by going big with Buzzwole, ended up working out for me here. And he's just going to Energy Drive there. Hits me for 100. I have lots of options here this turn. I'm going to go ahead and start setting up my next Buzzwole, it looks like. I wouldn't have hated seeing that on the Sudowoodo, but I think that does kind of like bottleneck me into one type of play. So I think it's fine to just go ahead and put it on the Buzzwole, where if I attach to the Sudowoodo, it's like I can really only do anything if he attacks me with Nature's Judgment, and it's looking like, you know, he could Energy Drive knock out this Buzzwole for sure. So, and looks like, yeah, I just went ahead and took the Knuckle Impact KO. No supporter to play, but I guess I didn't really need to. And he's going to go ahead and get an attachment for turn. Choice Band comes down. I know he's going to end me, so maybe I had like a couple supporters in hand, and I didn't want to lose, like, I didn't want to play a Cynthia because that decreases my odds of having a Cynthia this coming turn, if that makes any sense. So I think that might be what my thought process was there if I didn't play a supporter. I didn't see what was in my hand, so I'm not quite sure, but yeah, this first game is actually going pretty well. Steven had a solid start getting that second turn Guzma KO on the Rockruff, but I had a really solid next turn where I was able to get the knockout on that Bulu whenever I had a lot of energies down and hit that Max Elixir. So he's going to go ahead and play a Heavy Ball, gets another Vikavolt, so we could see double Vikavolt coming into play, double Strong Charges out in play. And looks like that is indeed what's going to happen. 2 Vikavolts out, ready to go. He could knock me out here with Tapu Bulu if he wanted to. So we're going to see what he wants to do here. As long as he has the energies available to him. He has gone through a few so far. It looks like he's just going to get 1 Lightning and 2 Grass energies from the 2 different Strong Charges. Go ahead and power up the Bulu. And probably going to be content here just taking the knockout with Tapu Lele. But we're at a point in the game where I feel pretty good about where I'm at. He's, at 5 prizes, he'll go down to 3 here, but I still just need to take 2 in order to win the game. He's debating what he wants to knock me out with, and it looks like it's going to be the Bulu is going to be his choice. He's actually, he's going to just go ahead and use Nature's Judgment. Because I already had the damage on me, it is enough to knock me out. I have a Max Elixir and an energy in my hand, so if I hit the Elixir and I just attach the energy, I'll be able to win the game. There is the energy. He was just making sure I had 6 cards there. I didn't draw an extra one, and I did indeed draw just 6. And I'm not sure what the delay here is. I just gotta... Oh, I don't have an energy. I apologize. I thought I had an energy, but it was just 2 Ultra Balls, actually. So I thought one of those was a strong energy, but it was not. So there's a Max Elixir in my hand, and I'm able to go Ultra Ball for the Lele, put the Sycamore in my hand, so I can play this Max Elixir. If I do whiff, I do have the Sycamore, so pretty good odds I just find the 1 energy I need. No energy off the Max Elixir. I don't even know if I had any left, honestly, at this point. It seems like I've used so many, but all I need off of these top 7 cards is a fighting energy of any type, and I'll be able to hit 180 to knock out this Bulu with a Knuckle Impact. There it is. 180 Knuckle Impact, and there is game 1 for me. Getting me 1 step closer to that World's Invite. That was a pretty crazy game. Looking back at it, I honestly don't know that I actually played it absolutely correctly, so kind of funny to look back and notice those things. But at the same time, I did get the win, so a win is a win, and it is, we take them where we get them, right? I had to get rid of a lot of energies in that game early on, so it made my elixirs much less likely to hit. I think I actually ended up only playing the 2 elixirs. I missed 1 and hit 1, I think, if I can remember right. I don't know. It's all a blur now. Even after I've only been watching this game for 13 minutes, I can't remember what happened. But we're just going to get things started here, and I'm sure Steven will choose to go first in this game too. And, I think he's just really going to want to try to get a second Bulu down. I think that's the main reason things really went my way that turn. And, wow, that is a really crazy hand over on my side. I just saw 2 elixirs, 2 energies, a Sycamore, and a Choice Band. So if I top deck an Ultra Ball or a Brooklet Hill, that hand is amazing. If I don't, that hand is terrible. So a lot is going to be riding on my top deck. I may have to ditch a lot of energies here on this turn, but Steven's going to get things started with a Grubbin in the active spot, and looks like an Ultra Ball coming out, getting rid of a Sycamore and a Vikavolt. Definitely don't like getting rid of Vikavolts early. I think I remember Steven saying something along the lines of, well, I hope the other 2 aren't prized. And you can just see me pointing at the prizes. They're like, yeah, they're both in there, aren't they? You prized the other 2, right? But no, I don't believe he did. So he's going to get Choice Band plus an energy onto that Tapu Bulu he just got with the Ultra Ball. Cynthia is going to come out and shuffle and draw him a fresh 6 cards. Going to be wanting to bench another Grubbin here if he can. But if he can't, I think the active one is most likely pretty safe here. So we'll see what he gets off this 6 cards. Can he find a way to get another Grubbin? And are these 6 cards good enough to find him that second turn Vikavolt? I see another energy. I see a Choice Band. I might have seen a Vikavolt in that hand. I'm not sure. And draw for the turn. Is it a Brooklet Hill? Is it an Ultra Ball? It is a Choice Band. Oh, it's a Guzma. So I could Guzma something. That is such a painful discard. Getting rid of all those elixirs is so poor, unfortunately, but you gotta do it sometimes, I think. I've got another elixir in my hand. I could play it on the Rockruff, but if he has a Guzma and gets rid of that energy, that's like not that great for me. Because we know, Steven targeted down my Rockruffs last game. I'm sure he would do it again if given the chance. And yeah, it looks like that's the reason I chose to hold that elixir there. I don't want to just give him that energy. And we're going to go ahead and Jet Punch for 30 and then put 30 on to the Tapu Bulu. The damage there on the Bulu is not super relevant. I guess it could be relevant if he was able to Field Blow on my Choice Band and I only had 3 fighting energies on something like a Buzzwole GX. And yeah, he's just going to go ahead and Horn Attack, get rid of my Rockruff, and he was unable to get another Grubbin in play or a Vikavolt. And I do have that one elixir in my hand. Oh, and I top deck an energy, which means I would have hit my elixir, but I didn't want to hit it on that Rockruff, of course. So there we go. I do find a elixir, and I do hit there, and I do have an energy in hand. So if I find a way to retreat this Remoraid, I can return the knockout and leave Steven with just a single Grubbin in play. That would be extremely good if I had a way to do that. I also have a Guzma in my hand, so I guess I could theoretically do that and Jet Punch. Looks like I didn't find much there off of that Abyssal hand. I can Guzma, or is there a Sycamore in my hand? Oh no, it is a Guzma, so I can go ahead and Guzma. I can Jet Punch. If I'd gotten a Strong Energy or Regirock, I would have been able to take out this Grubbin. Unfortunately, I was unable to do that. Maybe it would have just been better for me to pass than attacking, because if he does find a way to retreat this and knocks out my Buzzwole with 3 energies on it, that's going to be really ugly. But at the same time, he would need, to get Rare Candy Vikavolt plus an attachment from hand or something like that. So I think it's actually, I think at this point I assumed that Steven didn't play a Floatstone or something like that, but I don't remember if he did. That's probably a risky assumption. So if he does find a Floatstone or something like a Switch, which Bulu decks have played in the past, I could be in trouble. But with something like a Guzma would keep actually my Buzzwole safe. So it's just going to kind of be up to these 6 cards here. Is Steven able to find a way to move this Grubbin and knock out my Buzzwole? If I don't... So I really don't remember at this point what my thought process was, but I guess I'm thinking, hey, he must not have Floatstone, or he has just 1 or 2 copies. Very low odds to find it this turn, I guess is what I was thinking. And my Buzzwole is safe in the active spot, but if it's on the bench, he can maybe get a Guzma playoff. That's really good. So it looks like he didn't find a Switch card here, so it might actually have paid off for me. And looks like it did. He's just going to have to pass over to my turn. I get an attachment to Sudowoodo, which is definitely nice. I have Ultra Ball, which means I can get down something like a Rockruff or find a Tapu Lele. Looks like I chose to Abyssal Hand first to draw a couple cards. And looks like I'm going to Jet Punch and put the 30 on a Grubbin. Kind of interesting. Looking back at that, I probably should have just Ultra Balled for a Rockruff and then Abyssal Handed for more cards, but this way I do have an energy on Sudowoodo. I'm threatening the return KO with a Nature's Judgment. And he does have to use Nature's Judgment. He can't use Tapu Wilderness GX because Buzzwole, of course, has that 190 HP, not 180. So he's going to go ahead and Lele for a Sycamore. He'll be able to draw himself a new hand and see if he can find himself that Vikavolt. He hasn't gotten it in play yet, but been able to attach 3 times, so Bulu will be able to pick up the KO on Buzzwole. And looking over at Steven's hand, I don't see the Vikavolt pieces yet. I think that's kind of what he's looking at. Do I have a way to get it this turn? And looks like he doesn't. Actually has to get rid of some important cards there. Gets rid of a Grass Energy, Energy Recycler, and a Rare Candy. There's another Rare Candy in his hand, but I don't know if he drew a Vikavolt or a Heavy Ball or anything like that. And looks like, yeah, he's just going to go ahead and Nature's Judgment KO my Buzzwole GX. And I'm going to send up the Sudowoodo here, which should be able to pick up a KO for me here on this active Buzzwole. or excuse me, on this active Bulu, and I'm looking at this Ultra Ball in my hand, which I think is probably going to want to grab me either a Buzzwole or maybe a Rockruff. I think I had the Lycanroc in hand, but it looks like I chose to ditch the Lycanroc there. And I think this play is... I think I honestly should have gone for a Rockruff here. It's not super likely that I would be able to, you know, hit my last elixir. Like, with 3 elixirs down, since I Sycamored away 2 in the first turn, I don't think that this play puts me in a very good position, honestly. So it looks like I'm going to Nature's Judgment, choose not to discard the energies, because you do get that option with Sudowoodo, and just take a knockout on that Bulu. And Field Blower is going to get rid of the 2 Choice Bands. Once again, maybe I should have held that Choice Band that I attached to the Buzzwole, but at the same time, if he ends me, I'd rather not necessarily draw it. So there's Skyla for Heavy Ball, and we know he had the Rare Candy in his hand, so this will get a Vikavolt in play. And by Strong Charging twice to Tapu Lele, he will be able to take a knockout here on my Buzzwole GX and go down to just 2 prizes remaining. Looks like we're going to go ahead and see the Rare Candy into the Vikavolt. And Steven will go to 2 prizes left after this turn after knocking out this Sudowoodo. I will have 3 left, I believe. It's hard to tell because I don't lay my prizes out very well. Come on, Chip, make it a little easier for Commentator Chip to be able to tell what you have left. But I think I do have 3 prizes left, which puts me in an awkward spot. And I'm definitely... I don't think I'm in a great spot in this game now at this point. So I think I've got Guzma, I've got Strong Energy, Ultra Ball, another Buzzwole in my hand. I don't think I'm down too many like Float Stones or anything like that, so I could probably send up Octillery and be okay here. But looks like I'm just going to go ahead and send up the active, or a Buzzwole to the active. Well, I guess since I had one in my hand, this is fine because I can always retreat manually. Or retreat with a Float Stone to retreat the active Buzzwole to the bench Buzzwole. There we go. Words are hard, guys. So Ultra Ball is going to find me a Rockruff. Go ahead and get that down. I don't know if I saw that other Lycanroc in the deck or not, though. And we're going to go ahead and end Steven, put him down to just 2 cards. I'll only get 3, but I do still have access to Abyssal Hand. And I'll be able to Jet Punch this turn and try to set up a knockout where I can knock out the Grubbin with a Jet Punch to win the game, potentially. So... yeah, we'll just have to see what I draw here. I think I'm trying to set up a play where I can go like Choice Band plus Regirock here and try to set it up so if I get another Strong Energy on the next turn. But at the same time, yeah, I'm choosing to hold the Regirock, and I think that's smart because that gives Steven an out to win the game if he was able to find something like Bulu, Energy, Guzma, but that would need to be like the 3 cards he got off the end to 1 would be Bulu, Grass Energy, Guzma, and he would need to have the energies left in the deck. Honestly, it probably would have been better for me to just bench the Regirock EX, attach the Choice Band to Buzzwole GX, and try to set up that play to where I'm Jet Punching this turn for 90 and putting 30 on the Grubbin, and then I'm threatening the knockout the next turn by Jet Punching once again with the Buzzwole GX onto that Tapu Lele to KO the Grubbin. So take the 3 prize turn. That would have probably been my best way to play this turn. Looks like for some reason I chose not to. And we'll see what Steven can do. Is it possible for him to make a really big Lele? I think he could potentially make like a super big Tapu Lele GX and win the game here. I don't remember what exactly happens. But he's going to go ahead and Nest Ball for Oranguru. We'll see what these 3 cards are that he gets with the Instruct. And, you know, if he can find, like, Energy plus Guzma and Choice Bands, he would be able to win the game that way. I think he drew a Heavy Ball there. And did he draw a second Rare Candy? I think he actually drew a second Rare Candy off of that Instruct. So he can get 2... Vikavolt GX in play, and if he has the energies left, he'll be able to actually, I think, pick up the KO here. Let's do a little bit of math. There's 1 energy on the Buzzwole, 3 on the active Tapu Lele. He's got 1 in his hand, actually, so that is 5 energies plus 4 from the Strong Charges. If he's got 4 energies in the deck, that would be enough since he does have the Choice Band on Tapu Lele GX to actually pick up the knockout. So off of that Instruct for 3, finding Energy plus Rare Candy Vikavolt, I think gave Steven the game here. He's doing a little bit of math, figuring out if he does indeed have it. And there's Energy right there. Oh yeah, he doesn't even need, yeah, he's got the Energy in his hand. So there it is, guys. Wow. Getting the game with that Instruct into Rare Candy Vikavolt with the Energy as well. And, man, that was a crazy one right there. Steven was able to pull off a great play there, and I think I didn't play super well, but I also think I was not in a great position from the beginning since I started off with 2 elixirs in my opening hand and had to Sycamore them away. Didn't get any value out of those cards. And those are super important cards, especially in this matchup where you need to keep up by KOing big basic Pokemon with your own big basic Pokemon. So I think Steven is having to switch out a sleeve real quick here. And, you know, not a big deal or anything like that. And then we'll just continue on with the shuffling and get this game underway. I think that we should have a decent amount of time here. I think that first game was pretty quick. The second one was a little longer, but still relatively quick. So we should have enough time for Game 3 to be a good Game 3. You guys are watching this at, 1.5 times speed, and the rounds were 60 minutes, I believe, best of 3, if I remember correctly. So still should be a decent amount of time here. And we'll see in this opening hand what am I able to get to work. Looks like I've got 2 elixirs there. Oricorio in the start isn't great for sure, but I do have Ultra Ball plus Sycamore, so I should have a pretty solid first turn on my side, since I will get to go first for the first time in this series. And we're going to get things going. Looks like Steven chose to start a Tapu Lele over the Grubbin, and I think this kind of makes sense. He has had issues with starting Grubbin in the previous 2 games where he was unable to move it. That 2 retreat cost makes it a little awkward, so he wanted to, have a way to, have a little easier time retreating. And if he has a supporter in his hand, he probably doesn't mind it near as much. So Ultra Ball is going to get rid of a Guzma and a Sycamore for me. I'm going to get a second Buzzwole GX in play. Maybe it would have been better to go ahead and try to set up a Rockruff, but since I'm going second, he could easily just get off a Guzma KO with a Energy and a Buzzwole. So, an Energy and a Tapu Bulu. That's like the 3rd time I've messed up the names of the 2 of them. They're 2 big basic Pokemon that's names both start with B, so I do apologize. So first Max Elixir is going to go ahead and hit for me. Let's see if I can get the second one. Looks like I do. Very nice. Going to go ahead and spread the wealth over there on my side of the field, setting up 2 Buzzwole GX if I can. And this is a great start for me. Definitely what I want to see over on my side. And a Sycamore to finish it off. Given the high 5, fresh Sycamore for 7. And if I can attach an Energy from hand this turn, I think that'll give me just about everything I want. I've got Ultra Balls, so I could go find like a Remoraid or a Rockruff. But I think I'm scared of just having something easily Guzma KO'd by him going Energy, Tapu Bulu, Guzma. I think it's still worth it to try to get something in play. And I think I'll just go ahead and do that with the Remoraid there over on my side. Starting Oricorio is a little awkward, but it is a 90 HP non-EX, so it's not super easy for Steven to knock out, and, so it could potentially, maybe take a Horn Attack or something for me, so it's not the worst thing, and I do play the 3 copies of Floatstone, so I can potentially move it when I need to. I'll go ahead and attach 1 Choice Band, maybe baiting out an early Field Blower. I think that is okay. And we're going to go ahead and see what Steven can get to happen over on his turn. He's got the Lele in the active that he started with. He benched the, I almost called it a Zorua, the Grubbin over on his side. And I think I see a Vikavolt in his hand. Is there also a Rare Candy in there? Looks like we're just going to see a Grass Energy. I think I do see Rare Candy plus Vikavolt in his hand. So he's got the turn 2 Vikavolt, but at the same time, he doesn't really have much else set up. And if he leaves himself, if he were to just pass, and I was able to get off Guzma plus Energy and KO his only Grubbin, I think Steven would probably lose the game right there. But at the same time, you don't want to get rid of Rare Candy plus Vikavolt. It feels so awkward, but it looks like that's what he chooses to do. Oh, it's actually 2 Vikavolts going to the discard pile. And a rare candy. So Steven's only got one Vikavolt left, and he hasn't even done a deck search yet. He doesn't know. His other Vikavolt could be prized. This game could be over before it even really gets started. And it looks like it's just going to be a big Sycamore for me. Unfortunately, getting rid of both Lycanroc GX, meaning Dangerous Rogue, is not going to be an option for me at any point in this game. I'm going to go ahead and get a Sudowoodo down onto the bench. I'm just really looking for a way to retreat the Oricorio at this point and try to maybe get some... If I had like Floatstone plus Energy, of course, I could knock out Tapu Lele. That would be really good. I don't think I have that yet. I do also have the option to just attach a basic Fighting to Oricorio. I could even use Supernatural Dance and do 20 damage to the Grubbin. I could... use Revelation Dance and do 30 damage to the active Tapu Lele since I do have a Psychic Energy in play. And I went ahead for the Brooklet Hill, put it in play, played it, but opted not to get anything down. I believe I benched that Sudowoodo from hand, right? So, yeah, just going to go ahead and pass over to Steven's turn. It's pretty unlikely that he has Rare Candy, Guzma, Vikavolt, and Energy, and a Choice Band in order to knock out a Buzzwole, so... I guess I was thinking I'm pretty safe just prepping up 2 Buzzwoles to really threaten anything Steven wants to do next turn. And that looks like that's what I did. So Skylight comes out from Steven's side. He can get down a Bulu. If he has his other Vikavolt in the deck, he can get that. And let's see what he gets, though. Does he want to get the Vikavolt? He might already have other cards in his hand that let him do it, because it looks like, yep, he is eyeing up the Bulu. Does get that. Does go ahead and bench it. Maybe he's... I don't know. We'll just have to see what he does here with the rest of this turn. There's a Lightning Energy in his hand. There's a Grass Energy as well. We see a Rare Candy. So if he has another Vikavolt, that would be Rare Candy Vikavolt. But no, he just passes over to my turn. If I can find a Guzma here, that would be really good. And looks like I did indeed find it. And I don't even need that Choice Band, but I'm going to go ahead and use it and get the Absorption GX KO, which is totally fine since I'm not going to be using Dangerous Rogue at any point in this game. I actually never even got a Lycanroc in play this series, it looks like, since I didn't get one in the first turns, and I won't be able to use it here since I discarded both of them. But Steven Ultra Balls away a Rare Candy, gets a Vikavolt, so he's going to get that Vikavolt out into play. And what would he need here to get a knockout on this this Buzzwole GX? I think 8 energies between the two of us would do it, and I don't think that is possible for him to pull off. So he would need to get 4 energies, and since he didn't have another Grubbin on the bench, he can't get another Vikavolt. And since he actually has already discarded his other 2 Vikavolts, we also know that he won't have another way to get a Vikavolt in play. So I will be safe for this turn at the minimum, it looks like. But we will see what happens after this. And I'm only getting 4 cards here. I don't have Octillery in play yet, which is probably the only bad thing about my board setup. Other than that, my board setup is almost perfect. Looks like I just drew a couple of Fighting Energies and 2 Floatstones. That's kind of awkward. Not really what I want to be drawing. Need to find some draw supporters. Need to find an Ultra Ball at the least to find something like a Octillery. But Steven's going to go ahead and play an Ultra Ball there. He's going to get another Tapu Bulu GX in play. He'll go ahead and Strong Charge, try to set this guy up to start doing something on the next turn. And, we'll see what else he wants to do here. Gets the... Oh, he actually got everything he needed there off of that in. He's going to be able to instruct for 3 here, and he's going to get the knockout, actually. He got Grass Energy, Choice Band. Wow, that was a crazy turn from Steven, actually. Luckily for me, I do have the return knockout by just going Floatstone, Energy, and Knockout, but I have, nothing else in my hand. So if he has a way to respond to this Buzzwole, it is not going to be pretty for me. But I think at this point, we can assume Steven doesn't have Floatstone. It's kind of hard for him to switch his Pokemon around. So we'll see what happens here on his turn. There's a Choice Band. There is a Grass Energy. And that is great for me to see. That tells me, hey, he's just going to have to Energy Drive this turn. And if I can find a way to get a knockout this coming turn, I might be able to do, I'll be able to take my last 2 prizes. So if I find Guzma, if he benches another Bulu, something like that, I can win the game that way. It's just going to have to be, what does Steven do with the rest of his turn here? There's his hand. I think we're just making sure he has the right number of cards. I think he's eyeing up like maybe an energy recycler play here. He's going to go ahead and strong charge and just load up a couple of energies onto this Tapu Lele. And this actually opens up a door where I could potentially get off a big energy drive of my own with Sudowoodo here. Let's see, with strong energies and choice bands, what would there's 3 energies on his active, that's 20, 40, 60. I think that, look at me, you can see me counting, or maybe I was counting his damage, but I think I'm also counting the potential damage from my own Sudowoodo. I could pull off some sort of really weird play with that. Looks like I drew Guzma, Sycamore, a couple of things like that. I could Guzma knock out his Vikavolt, but then I lose my only Buzzwole. I think it's definitely fine to just Sycamore this hand if I have to choose between the two. Oh, it looks like I'm also looking at a Cynthia. I can maybe save those 2 cards. I think it's fine to just be aggressive and... oh no, it was 2 Guzmas. That's what was difficult for me right there. So I found a couple of elixirs in that hand, plus a strong... or no, sorry. A couple of elixirs plus a basic fighting. I actually found 3 elixirs. Was that 3 elixirs in that hand, actually? So let's see. What would I need in order to knock out Tapu Lele with Sudowoodo? That would be... there's, 60 on his... and then I would need 80, 100, 20. So I would need 3 energies, one of them being a strong energy plus a choice band. Is that what I need? Or maybe it's 4 energy, one of them being a strong energy. I'll go ahead and put the Octillery in play. I think that's definitely something that's going to have to happen this turn. And it looks like it is just 1 more elixir. For some reason I thought there might have been 3 in that hand. And yeah, I'm just double checking here. I believe if I hit this max elixir and Abyssal Hand into a strong energy, that would give me the knockout, enough to knock out this Tapu Lele, since Steven put that extra energy on. Maybe looking back at it now, he's thinking, maybe I shouldn't have put that extra energy. So let's see. Ooh, I do hit it. Off of this Abyssal Hand, can I find a strong energy? That would be enough to give me the game here, actually. Let's just double check. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. 20, 40. Yep. Plus the 30 damage from Choice Band. If I was able to find a strong energy here, that would give me the game. Looks like I did not get it, but that would have been an absolutely crazy play. I think I was only down 1, so there was 2 left in the deck since there is 1 in play. But man, that would have been a really cool way to end this game off. I think it actually might be correct for me to... because I haven't even attached for turn yet. So what I can do is attach, retreat into the Sudowoodo, and just energy drive for a decent chunk of damage here. And then I've set myself up for a lot of different ways to try to win the game on the next turn. So right here I just did 130, I believe. Yeah, we're just double checking the math. Or 150. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and 30. Should be 130 there. Unless I'm missing something. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and 30. Yeah, I believe it should be 130. There's 150 on it right now. I don't think... unless I'm missing something. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and 30. Yeah, should be 130 there, but it looks like there's 150 on it. I don't think that's anything too relevant here, but we'll see what happens. I don't think that the damage matters, but... oh yeah, it looks like... okay, thank goodness. I think we did catch it. I was just sitting here hoping, oh gosh, we're not going to have another mistake here on stream, but no, we did catch it. There we go. 130 damage is on that Tapu Lele, so... and I'm in just like a really solid position here. Steven has 4 prizes remaining. I have 2 left. I have a Buzzwole with 2 energies on my bench. I've got Sudowoodo that's a really big threat. And honestly, he's at a point where he has a lot, excuse me, a lot of Pokemon in his discard pile. We've seen several things hit the discard pile. And, you know, he did discard those 2 Vikavolts on the first turn. I think that I'm actually in a position where an energy on Oricorio could potentially win me the game with a Supernatural Dance, which would be a really cool way to finish the game off. And I think that might be what I was counting there. How many Pokemon are in Steven's discard pile? Looks like he's going to bench a Tapu Bulu GX. I do have a basic fighting energy in my hand. And I think Steven, I don't know what Steven can really do over here on his turn. He's already played a supporter. He can't end me. He can't Guzma knock out this Buzzwole. He's going to energy recycler and put some energies back into the deck. Maybe he can, you know, like try to soften something up with a horn attack maybe. But, you know, with 4 prizes remaining, I'm only at 2. I don't know what Steven's going to be able to do here. He's already played a supporter for his turn. I don't know what he's going to be able to do. He's trying to find a way, trying to find a strategy here to try to win this game. Looks like he's going to go ahead and strong charge. And yeah, I'm in a position where I just have lots of different things I can do next turn. I'm going to be able to, if I get like Guzma, I have energy in my hand so I can Guzma knock out this Bulu. Looks like he's actually going to retreat to the Bulu here. Or no, maybe just retreating and sacrificing a Grubbin. But if I have 1 basic fighting energy, I will be able to win the game with Oricorio's Supernatural Dance, which is super cool. I think, yeah, it looks like there is at least minimum 4 Pokemon in the discard pile, which is all it needs. And there it is, yes, 4 Pokemon in the discard pile. And that gets me my World's Invite, guys. A really cool play to finish it off. And that was really neat. So getting to see myself win that game on stream is definitely neat. Getting my World's Invite from that game. Huge congratulations to Steven. He's a good friend of mine, and he's going to finish off his invite very soon. I'm confident in it. I did unfortunately lose in top 4, but we have another top 4 match that you guys are going to get to see here shortly. You can click the links on screen now to watch the rest of the games from this tournament, and we'll have finals out to you guys very soon as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave a like for me getting my World's Invite, I guess, as well. And that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take care.